Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Yoga for Everybody session today. My name is Skylar Ramirez. For us to get started today, go ahead and get comfortable in any seated or lying down position as we work on a little bit of mindful breathing. So as you get comfortable, remember you can always sit on a pillow or a blanket to comfort your hips. And if you're lying down on the floor, maybe keep the knees bent. Having the knees bent is a nice way to take some pressure or any pulling sensations out of your spine. Whether you're seated or lying down, let's go ahead and place our hands on our belly and start to feel the breath moving through the abdomen. Inhaling, feeling the navel rise or the navel push into the palms of your hands, and then exhaling, relaxing the belly. Every inhalation, just simply allowing the belly to rise, the lungs to fill. Maybe pause at the top of the breath, and then as you exhale, notice how the palms move in towards the spine as you exhale with no effort. Inhaling, belly rising. Exhale, softening through the abdomen. Try a few breaths, inhaling through the nose, exhaling from the throat. Take a moment to breathe into any parts of your body that might be healing today. Bring to mind any places in the body that might be experiencing a little bit of pain, tightness, discomfort this morning. Simply bringing awareness to those places. And as we commit to this practice, knowing that we can work around those places. So maybe just allowing places that are healing in our bodies today to have a little bit more stillness, and we might put just a little work into the practice. When you're ready, let's all meet lying on our backs with the knees bent as we begin to warm up through the hips, shoulders, and spine. Coming down onto our backs and lying down on the floor, let's lift one knee at a time, drawing the knees in close to the chest, close to the body. Maybe let those knees rock a little bit side to side. Again, maybe just half our range of motion or even less effort. Let's hold just the right knee in. Tap the left foot down on the ground as you gently tug the knee in towards the chest. While we're here, we could also roll out the right ankle. Wiggle the toes, encouraging just some healthy blood flow down from the toes, through the legs, all the way to the hip. When you're ready, slowly take that foot down to the floor. Let's bring our left knee in, holding on behind the knee or around the thigh, drawing that leg in closer to the chest. From here, rolling out that left foot, wiggling our toes. Maybe even closing the eyes so that we're able to feel what parts of the foot, the ankle, or the leg, maybe even parts of the hip that might be a little tight today. Let's lower both feet down, having the feet at the width of the hips. On an inhale, let's slowly push into our feet and lift the pelvis, or maybe tilt the pelvis. So you might want to tilt first. That would be peeling up the tailbone. Or you could hover those hips off the floor, weight bearing a little bit more into your feet and into your shoulders and spine. Exhale, lower the hips down, or let that pelvis move out of the tilt. Flattening through the tailbone, the curve in your low back. On an inhale, lift the pelvis. Option to lift it off the floor with the hips. Exhale, lower down, tilting back and down. Inhale, pelvic tilt or lift. Exhale, relax it down. Let's do one more, warming up the hip and the lower spine. Inhale, lift, and exhale down. Let's warm up the shoulders a little bit with this, turning the palms up. So we're gonna do like we're making a snow angel or a jumping jack. As we inhale, keeping the elbows slightly bent, you can graze the hands just over the floor. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Maybe even reach from your armpits. Then exhale, gently bend the elbows and slowly take the arms back down beside you. So we're doing this nice big flying arm action. Inhale, reach it out and up, big breath in. Exhale, bend the elbows, take it down. Just one or two more. Big inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale down. Adding in a gentle stretch across the body. Let's take our left leg, lift the foot off the floor, and maybe extend that leg straight up to the sky. Point and flex the foot a few times, keeping that leg extended. Let's bring our foot to a still point, just keeping the foot pretty casual in its position. Left leg extension, right arm comes up, reaching towards the ceiling. And maybe we try to reach the toe towards the hand, or even the knee towards the hand to opposite knee. Bringing our leg down and straight to the floor, and then that right arm up and overhead. Nice big diagonal stretch from the left foot to the left hip, across to the right armpit, moving up and out of your right fingertips. Breathe into the upper right lung. And now exhale, relax. Lower that right arm down beside you. Let's bend the right knee and bring the foot in. Lifting the left knee away from the floor, lifting the foot, extending the left leg. Point and flex the foot. Coming to a still point so the foot is relaxed and casual. Let's lift our left arm up, straight up as if you're reaching towards the sky, while that left shoulder blade stays supported on the floor. Let's bring the foot towards the hand and the hand towards the leg, reaching across just a little bit with this stretch. Left hand goes across to that right knee or somewhere on the leg. When you're ready, bring it to center. Lower the left leg slowly all the way down to the floor, tapping the heel. Then take the left arm all the way back and overhead as far as the shoulder blade will permit. Inhale, reach to the fingertips and push through your foot, stretching from the right foot to the right hip, across to the left shoulder, and out the left fingertips. Let's breathe a little more into the upper left lung. Exhale from your throat. Lowering that left hand down, palms down beside the hips. Let's drag that right heel in. Open the knees wider than the hips and let those knees sway big side to side, windshield wiper knees. Add in the arms to this. Let those arms sway over to the opposite side, creating this really big twisting action from the hips all the way up through the spine and into the shoulder blades. Let's do one more to each side. When you're ready, roll over onto one side and let's find our breath here. Bringing the knees in really close to your body so that we're able to round the low back a little bit, stretching over the kidneys, and perhaps relieving some tension around that low back, tailbone region. Breathe down into your hips. Breathe into the side of the lung and into the backs of the ribs. Breathe up into the space under your shoulder blades. Relax the body. Let's take our top hand, press it down on the floor in front of you, pushing into that hand so we can come up into all fours position, coming onto our knees, creating a straight line from the knee up to the hip joint, and then looking at our arms. If we always have our palms flat, maybe just for today, maybe we use our fist with the thumbs forward, or maybe we come down to the elbows just to change it up a little bit for our cat and cow flow today. When you're ready, as you inhale, push the hips back and drop the belly. Pull forward through the neck and the head, lifting your head so your gaze is shifted slightly forward and up into cow. As we exhale, let's push into the hands or the arms. Pull the belly up, pull the tailbone under, and drop the head, coming into cat. Inhaling for cow, hips flipping back, gaze forward. Exhale, pulling the hips under, rounding the spine. Practicing this flow, allowing your breath to initiate each movement, waiting for that moment, waiting when the body says it's time to exhale, and then slowly contracting with that breath as it leaves the body. Pause, noticing when the body's ready to receive the breath, and then inhale nice and slow. Exhale, contract, bring it in. Last one. Inhaling into cow. From here, let's find more of a neutral spine position. Coming up onto our hands just for a moment. That way we're able to transition with ease. From here, let's take our left foot forward and then the right, placing both hands down on our thighs for support. This is a supported standing forward fold. Placing the hands on our thighs, using the arms to prop up the spine as we begin to lengthen our arms. We'll be able to flatten through our low back a little more. Let's look at our feet while we're here, bringing the feet to the width of the pelvis bones, a little more narrow than hip width distance. With our spine supported, thighs, hands on the thighs, let's let those hips sway a little bit left and right. And as we do this, we are going to encourage maybe just a tiny stretch around the kneecaps, but nothing too drastic since these are not meant to be twisted in any way. But there are some ligaments and connecting tissues that go from the feet all the way up to the hips, back, and spine that can benefit from just this little sway. Let's come to a still point with the back flat. Push the hips back, bend the elbows, drop the belly towards the thighs, look forward with the hips and the buttocks pressing back, moving into a standing cow expression. As we exhale, let's tuck the tailbone under, round the spine, lengthen through those arms, drop your head and neck, coming into a standing cow, reaching with the fingertips past the knees. Hands to the thighs, hips back, flat back. Inhale, press into the legs, holding in standing cow. Exhale, standing cat, straightening the arms and legs, rounding as we reach, bring the chin into the chest. Hands to the thighs, flat back. So not a big cow expression, but definitely moving towards a little more of a neutral back. When you're ready, walk the hands up. Let's open the palms of the hands, finding mountain pose. Stepping down into our feet, we're webbing out the toes, opening through the palms of the hands, finding dynamic energy in the soles of our feet as we press down, step down into the earth, and reach down with your fingertips. Let's inhale, fly the arms overhead. And then exhale, fly those arms back or even a little bit out to the side, loosening up the chest with the breath. Inhale into your nose from the belly, up to the heart. Exhale back and around. At least one or two more of those, even closing the eyes while we breathe. Tune into the sensations that ultimately teach us how to move. Let's meet with our hands at the heart center, palms pressing together. Anjali Mudra, the gesture of physical reverence today. Take a moment, breathe in a deep sense of gratitude and compassion and patience for the physical body today as we continue to move a little bit more. Let's step our left foot back, opening up through the palms of the hands. Take a nice big breath in. Look up, lift your chin. Exhale, look forward and step it forward, palms at the heart. Inhaling, right foot back, opening the palms of the hands, looking up, keeping a little bend in that left knee. Exhale, bring it forward, palms to the heart. Let's continue. Alternate with the breath. Inhale, exhale forward. Inhale, switching legs, right leg, open up. And bring it forward. So once we've seen this and practiced it a few times, eventually closing the eyes at some point. So maybe we come to center, close the eyes. You can keep the eyes closed when you get back, or open the eyes to sort of check out the space that your body is in today. Working a little bit with spatial awareness, closing the eyes to feel where we are with our bodies in space and time, allowing the body to position itself and to move from an organic intelligence, moving based on what we feel is right for us, less on what we see. Just one more on each side. Finishing with that right foot back. Absolutely no rush. Eventually we all meet in mountain pose. Feet at the width of the pelvis bones, narrower than the hips. From here, let's inhale, taking both arms up and overhead, lacing the fingers, invert the palms and push up. Lean over to the right into a gentle, this is another expression of a half moon pose. Inhale, pull up and out of that left armpit as you lean to the right. Bring it to center, lean over to the left, pull up and out of that right armpit. Bring it to center, bring the hands down to the heart. Inhale, circle those elbows back 3 or 4 times. We're just gonna inhale and exhale. Nice big circles. Inhale. Remember, it doesn't have to be the same on the left and the right. You can always do one elbow at a time if that feels better. Inhale, open, and then bring it back. From here, let's take the arms out. Big inhale, open, bring the arms behind you for chest expansion. So with this, we're lacing the fingers together at the low back, or you are more than welcome to put the hands at your back with the elbows to the side. Another option is to keep those hands, palms of the hands supported at your low back in the chest expansion. Wherever you are with this, check in with your breath, feeling as if you are breathing into the heart. Inhale, bow out your chest, puff out the ribs, pull up the collarbones, maybe even lift the chin just a little bit. This standing chest expression is used to improve overall posture, to keep us from becoming too flexed in with the spine, which can create excess pressure in the body. Inhale, pull up through the heart. Exhale, relax. Just one more. Inhale, pull up, looking up. When you're ready, bend the knees deep. Push the hips back, just like cow pose. Let those hips flip back just a little bit. At some point, we're going to relax the head and the neck and the chest. Let that head hang loose. Shake the head yes. Turn it left and right. Maybe keep the hands by the back or release those hands down. Walking the hands down our legs, past the knee joints. Maybe even touching the floor if it's a comfortable reach. Let's all check in with the knees. Shift forward, little bit in the knees as if to hit it back a little bit. Let's check in with our shoulders. Let them round. Let those arms be loose like a rag doll. And same goes for the neck and the head. Keep it loose like a rag doll. Exhale from the throat. Let's walk the hands to our shins. Lengthen the arms. Prop up the spine. When you're ready, walk the hands up to your thighs. And then slowly push up, coming into mountain for our foundation. Let's roll the shoulders back and down, open the palms of the hands. Feet are at the width of the pelvis bones. Inhaling, taking our left foot back, a short stride, and bending the right knee. We're finding a warrior one stance. Right knee bent, left leg back. When you're ready, inhale, sweep both arms up and overhead, holding warrior one. We're reaching through the fingertips. Imagine you're holding on to a, maybe like a 10-pound bowling ball. So you create some dynamic energy in the hands and even around the shoulders when you do this. Big breath in, reach. Exhale, swan dive, come forward. Let's place both hands on that right thigh as we continue to bend the right knee and lunge forward. With that right knee bent and left leg straight back, keep the left hand on the right thigh. Let's bend our elbow and circle it back towards the hip, down and around a few times. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. One more. Inhale, open it up. This time, bring the knuckles of that right hand onto your low back. Use the left hand on the thigh to gently press into the leg, encouraging a twist through your body. Let's draw that right shoulder back, opening up the right side of your chest and heart. Press the left shoulder over that right thigh or over that knee. Continue to push back through that left heel. Inhaling over that right shoulder, big breath in. And now exhale, come to center. From here, keeping that bend in our right leg, we're slowly bending and straightening that right leg just a little bit, rocking back and forth, making sure that we always keep a softness in that knee joint. It is common to be able to lock out the joints. We want to keep those joints just softly bent. If your body is used to locking out the joints, if that's common, then even the tiniest bend in the body is going to feel really exaggerated. But just trust your body to stay soft. Keeping that front right leg just a little bit straight, again in the knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And now exhale, walk the hands down that right leg, allowing the chest and the trunk of the body to move over the right leg, relaxing the head and the neck, coming into pyramid pose. Hands might stay arranged in any way on your legs for support or up by your hips for support. Hands can come to a chair, a wall, or even to the floor. Relaxing the head and neck, loose like a rag doll, shake it out. Try at least 2 or 3 long exhales from the throat. To safely exit this pose, let's first bring both our hands onto our right leg. Walk the hands past the knee, up the thigh, finding a flat, and when your body is ready, slowly come all the way up. Let's step forward so that we find our mountain foundation, both feet on the floor. Steady the breath in the body with 3 flying breaths. Inhale, fly the arms up. Exhale, fly the arms back. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out from the throat. One more, inhale. And exhale. When you're ready, hands come to the heart, stepping our right foot back, a casual stride, and bending the left knee. With that left knee bent and right leg straight, let's inhale both arms overhead, reaching through the fingertips, establishing a strong warrior 1. Lunging forward while we press the shoulders back and over our hips. We could always let the head maybe touch a little bit to the left and right, so our ears are touching the biceps, making sure that the arm lifting up and back, so we're creating a little more strength in the upper body. Inhale, reach. Exhale, swan dive down, keeping a healthy bend in that front knee. Both hands on that front thigh. We're pressing the hips back. Keeping our right hand on the left thigh. Let's bend the left elbow and circle it forward, up, back towards the hip, then down and around. Inhaling as we open. Exhale as it comes down. Big breath in. This next circle, let's rest the left hand at the low back. Moving into a gentle twist. Right hand can assist a little bit. Roll that left shoulder back, look over to the left. Reach with that right arm across the body, keeping that bend in the left knee. Inhaling big into your heart and chest. Exhale, relax the jaw. Just more. Press into the inner blades of the feet. When you're ready, slowly bring it around to center. Both hands on the thigh. Let's bend and straighten that front leg just a few times, webbing out the toes, making sure that all parts of the soles of the feet are connected to the earth. When you're ready, hold that leg so it's in more of that straight position. Again, making sure that the joints are not locked out. It might feel like a bigger bend in the body, but we're just trying to keep the joints soft. That promotes healthy circulation. From here, we're pushing our hips back, walking our hands past the knee, supporting with the arms on that left leg, holding pyramid pose. Maybe placing the hands on a chair, a wall, or bringing the hands closer towards the floor, relaxing the head and the neck. Let those shoulders, spine, and body hang loose like a rag doll, and exaggerate the exhale. To safely come out of the pose, we're walking our hands up our legs, past the knee joint, hold at the thigh joint just for a moment, letting our blood pressure stabilize. Eventually bringing the hands up a little higher until we're standing, and then stepping so that we have our feet open for mountain pose again. Let's center the body with that balanced flying breath. 3 of those flying breaths. Inhale, exhale, closing the eyes. Noticing if our body has a tendency to lean in one direction. Maybe we lean a little more back or forward. One more. Exhale. From here, we're moving into our balancing pose for our session today, which is dancer's pose, Natara Jasana. And we'll be able to practice this a few different ways today. So the most basic expression of this balancing pose is to stand on one leg, and I'm using a wall for a little bit of support today. So I'm going to stand on my inside leg. Whichever hand has the support, keep that leg as your supportive leg. Lifting my outside leg, I can reach down and maybe hold on to my ankle. Or if you have yourself positioned just right with a chair and a wall, you can hold on to something and you can put your foot behind you instead. Press it up onto a wall or push it onto a chair. You don't have to hold on to the foot whatsoever. From wherever you are with this, check in with that standing leg. Let's bend the knee and start to slowly come forward, just a tiny bit, not too far. A little goes a long way here. You can point your back foot or flex that foot. Anything goes here for balance. And of course, if you want to add in just a little bit more of a challenge, then take that hand off of your support and reach out in front of you. Bow out the chest, lift the heart. Pull through the ribs. Reach from that armpit. One more big breath. Inhale. And now exhale, relax everything. Let's relax the arms, the legs. Shake out the hips, your knees, your feet. Maybe even roll out the wrist. Let's do the other side. For the other side, inside leg is our means of support. Stepping into one foot, bending the other knee. Reaching down, maybe if we want to hold on to that foot. Leaning forward, keeping a bend in the standing leg. Option 2, release that hand from the wall. And then no matter where we are, we inhale, bow out your chest, lift your ribs, open your heart. One more big breath. Then exhale. Let everything go. Again, roll out the wrist, shake everything off. All right, from here, let's come down to the floor, nice and easy, no rush. Hinging from our hips, we're pushing the hips back, walking the hands down towards the floor. Taking one foot back, we can lower that knee, and then the other foot back. Palms flat to the floor. From here, you are welcome to keep the toes tucked under and maybe push back to stretch your back and hips. Or with those toes tucked under and the hands at shoulder width, we can lift the knees and push the chest a little bit towards the thighs. Lifting the hips up towards the side. Coming into downward facing dog. Exhale from your throat. Inhale through the nose. One more. Let's slowly shift forward, lower the knees. Let's all untuck our toes. Open the knees wider than the hips and maybe touch the big toes together. Let's press the hips back, moving the stomach between the knees or between the thighs. Your hips may or may not touch your feet. It's okay for the hips to stay lifted here, moving into a wide knee child's pose. And for some of you, it might look a little bit more like a frog pose. Let's relax our head. Practice breathing into the back of the lungs, up and down the sides of the spine. When you're ready, slowly use the hands to come forward from all fours, separate the toes, bring those knees in a little bit so that the body is safely positioned with the joints. Let these go, our feet go over to one side and slowly sit back. Moving into a few floor stretches today. Let's take our left leg out and keep that right knee bent and in close to your body. From here, having that left leg extended out from the hip joint. Notice if you have it really out wide abducted, you want to keep the leg a little more straight this time. There's going to naturally be just a little bit of a play or a little bit of a shift in your hips. That's okay. Let's flex that extended left leg. See that your toe is straight up to the sky. From here, sitting nice and tall, turn the navel towards that left knee. We're moving into head to knee pose, Janu Shirshasana. From here, place the hands down flat on the floor, or maybe even up on the thighs and hips to ground the energy in your pelvis. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, start to lean or look over your toe, extending through the spine as we lean over that left leg, looking over our big toe, extending for as far as the spine will permit, and then eventually relaxing, letting your upper back round a little bit. The spine is going to soften. Move the hands so that you feel supported through the trunk of the body. And then exhale, relax your neck and head. Practice a few really exaggerated exhales. Exaggerate meaning maybe sigh. Big sigh of relief. When you're ready, walk the hands in nice and slow. Let's bend that right knee and maybe position that left leg more to the middle. So we're moving into a little bigger stretch here. If you don't already, you might want to put a pillow underneath your hips or a folded up blanket. Let's cross the right leg over the left leg. Lift up your right toe and then open that knee out to the side. So you're creating a figure four stretch. As we inhale, we continue to lengthen the spine. And then exhale, lean forward, straight ahead, trying to look over the shin this time. You might start to feel this stretch in your hips or in different parts of the legs. Relax the jaw. Big exhales. The bigger the exhale, the greater the chance we're going to release tension in the back, release tension in the spine. When you're ready, slowly walk it up. Let's extend that right leg out. Bend the left knee and open that knee out to the side. Setting up for head to knee pose. Turning our belly button towards the extended leg, towards that right knee. Inhale, sit nice and tall. Ground the energy in the pelvis and the hips. Big breath in. Exhale, lean over the leg, look past the toes, open the throat a little bit. On an exhale, relax the whole body. Reposition your head, neck, and hands so that the upper spine is comfortable while we stretch here. Start to stretch out the exhale, and again, it might be exaggerated. When your body is ready, walk the hands in. Let's bring our left knee up. Position the right foot, the right leg straight ahead of the body. Let's cross the left foot over the right knee or over that right leg. Lift up your left toes and then open that knee out to the side as much as it will into a seated figure four, also known as a seated pigeon pose. Inhaling, sitting tall, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, reach the heart and collarbones over your leg, past the shin. And just like before, eventually relax. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale, sigh. Maybe move the jaw around. Stick out your tongue. Lots of jaw, throat, breath manipulation, all of this to relax the spine. Big inhale and exhale. Let's take it and walk it in. Hands guiding the spine to neutral. Uncrossing the legs, both legs straight out in front of us. Shake off the knees. Let's bring our hands past the hips on the floor, pressing the palms back behind us. Inhale, lift up through the heart. Bend your left knee, maybe slide that heel in 3 or 4 inches. Keep pushing with your right heel. Sitting tall from here without moving the knee or the foot, try to lift the heel just 1 inch off of the floor, moving truly from that left hip joint. So it is possible to move from the knee or move from the foot, but isolate that just in your hip. It's only going to be a tiny, tiny movement. Holding it there. 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend the leg, come forward, counter that energy. When you're ready, lean back again. Hands past the hips. Plant the hands on the floor. Push through that left heel. Let's drag the right heel in. Maybe just 3 or 4 inches. So my heel is maybe, on my right heel, is maybe just higher than my left ankle. Not too far in. Keeping the toes energized, push to the left heel without moving that right knee. Just a tiny lift. Pull in through that right hip and give a little bit of a lift to that right heel. Inhale, act surprised. 1, 2, 3. Sit nice and tall. Surprise breath. Holding it, holding it, hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it out. Shake off the knees, wiggle your toes, move your ankles. From here, let's take our time to slowly lie down on the floor. We might want to roll over to one side and then lie on our backs. From lying on our backs, we're experimenting with that hip stretch that we just did on the floor, the figure 4 stretch. There are a lot of variations on this. In traditional fitness, we call them figure 4 stretches. In yoga, we call them pigeon stretches, just like the bird. So for this one, this is a supine pigeon stretch. To do this one, both knees are bent first. Let's bring our left knee in towards the body and then open that knee out to the side, placing your left heel on top of your right leg. We may want to hold it right here, or we can lift our right heel, pull that right knee up off the floor, and then bring both of your hands down under the left leg and around the right thigh. So from here with both hands around that right thigh, you can use your arms to pull that right leg in closer to the body. And as you do, you may be able to bend your left elbow and push it into your left thigh. From here, we're looking straight up. The throat, the head, and the neck are relaxed. Closing the eyes, practicing some deep breaths. One more. When you're ready, slowly take any tension out from the hands and the legs. Lower that right foot and uncross the legs. Let's do the other side, bringing our right knee in. Turning that right knee out to the side. Placing the right ankle on top of the left thigh. Lifting the left heel. We can slowly drag the toe in and lift that left foot off the floor. Bringing our right hand under the right leg, around that left thigh. Same goes for the left hand, under the leg and around the thigh. Bending our elbows to draw the leg closer to the body, and maybe bend your right elbow. As you do, you might notice that your right elbow can push into your inner thigh on the right leg. Exhale from the throat. Position the head to look up at the ceiling. Close the eyes. Keep the breath exaggerated, the jaw relaxed. When you're ready, slowly relax the foot. Let's uncross the legs, letting go of any tension with the upper body or the lower body. Let the knees sway a little bit, move your arms around. From here, we're rolling over to our side to work with half bow pose today. If you have a pillow, that could be really helpful to have under your head and neck for this posture. You could also prop up your head with your hand if that's comfortable for your body. It doesn't matter if you're lying on your left or right side, just make sure you're comfortable. Let's lift our top leg. With the top leg lifted, push the foot back behind you. As you do, you're going to let your hips slightly thrust forward. You might even feel like you're trying to roll your body forward while you push your foot back behind you. Option to take your top arm and reach back for your leg, maybe your foot, maybe your ankle, just wherever that hand lands will be just fine. From here, as we hold onto that leg, push your leg into your hand, and now the hand into the leg to create a dynamic bow position on your side. Inhaling, we're opening from that top left hip all the way up into the chest. This is a form of a back bend. And in yoga, there's a saying, back bends are the fountain of youth. It's the health of the spine that can ultimately determine optimal wellness. Big breath in. And exhale, just one more. When you're ready, let go of that tension. To switch sides, you're welcome to just roll to your belly. You don't even have to see me. And then roll to the other side. Of course, if you want to switch sides altogether, you're welcome to do so that you're still able to watch the session. So we're starting with our knees bent, protection under the head and neck, either a pillow, a blanket, block, hand. Let's lift the top leg. From here, we're pushing back with that top leg. And as we do, the top hip is going to roll forward just a little bit while we push back, creating that arch effect. opening up the inner hip area. Reaching back with our hand, it could be on the leg, the ankle, the foot, just wherever we're able to get a comfortable grasp on that leg. Inhale, open up through the front of the body, pressing the leg into the hand and the hand into the leg for counter pressure. Breathe into the upper lung and chest. 2 more, holding our back bend, our fountain of youth. 1 more big breath. Safely coming out of this, let's lower the knees. Release your hands from lying on your side. Go ahead and lie on your belly for a moment. As we lie on our belly, we're coming into a position called locust. This is to strengthen the low back. For this position, let's start by relaxing the head and the neck. And then maybe touch your toes together and try to lift your feet off the floor. So the knees and the thighs can still be pushing on the floor for this. As a little extra added bonus, squeeze the inner thighs together, squeeze the glute muscles, and then try to hover your knees off of the floor. Holding here, breathe into the sides of your lungs. Can't really breathe into the belly here. Hard to breathe into the back here, so use the side of the lungs. Lifting the knees, lifting the feet. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more big breath in. And then relax everything. Let's counter that with a little bit of a back bend, bringing the hands on the floor. Push into your elbows, walk those elbows in. And we may just want to hold it right here in an expression of cobra, or turn the palms down, push into the hands and straighten your arms, coming into cobra with more of a back bend. 1 more big breath. Exhale. 1 more big inhale. And now lower. Bring the elbows in tight to the body. Bend the feet, bend the knees, push into your thighs and knees to lift the hips. Use the elbows to walk the body back and hold it in child's pose again. Head and neck relaxed. From here, we are taking our time to transition into relaxation pose. Go ahead and get comfortable. However your body interprets a deep sense of ease or relaxation for the final few moments of class, go ahead and get comfy, grab your blankets, pillows, socks. Let's practice breathing today using as little breath as possible. I know that sounds counterintuitive. There are times where we want to take a really big breath, and then there are times where we really are going to practice more moderation with the breath. The breath might feel a little more shallow, and that's okay. In fact, the more relaxed we are, the more shallow the breath, and the fewer breaths we take. That's when our blood pressure drops a little too. So just notice as each moment is passing, maybe even start to count each moment that's passing when you inhale. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, for however long that inhale is. And then exhale, just let it go. So only noticing the inhale for now. As you're breathing and as you're counting, noticing each moment that's passing, notice at what point does your body feel satisfied with your breath. So we know the bigger breath is not always the better breath. At what moment do we notice that we feel satisfaction with the breath? When do we have enough of the breath? Stopping at that point where we feel satisfied with the breath and simply affirming, I feel I have enough. If we're noticing that we're not quite able to get that breath, that satisfaction with the breath, then focus on the exhale. Focus on exhaling slow, maybe even contract your belly so that every bit of residual air empties out. And then you're able to make space for maybe a better breath. Find contentment, satisfaction with the breath, as we find that we have enough with the breath, also residing, mind, body, spirit, residing in a place of deep peace, a deep sense of peace. I thank you for joining me today in our session. For those of you who maybe have other things to do, we have been practicing for about an hour, so I invite you to bring your hands up over the heart. If you can lie here a little longer, please continue to rest. Just touching in with the breath, the awareness of the breath in the body. From here, let's draw in a deep, unifying breath and then exhale from your throat to close. And from here, we can all bow together. Namaste, everyone. Go enjoy your beautiful day. I will see you next week.